Monday morning, Washington, D.C. In the shadows of the national monuments, commuters hustling to work, tourists sightseeing, and the first day of school for 100,000 D.C. school students. But this year, something's different. Soldiers on the streets.
People ask me, what am I here for? I'm here to make sure that young people can leave and go to school and come back in a safe environment. They don't have to worry about drug dealers. They don't have to worry about crime. They don't have to worry about people, with guns and knives.
Free DC! Free DC!
National Guard troops have been stationed in the nation's capital for 2 weeks now, patrolling, monitoring, punctuating train and metro stations, the National Mall, and commercial streets. A move that President Trump said was necessary to curb crime and clean up the streets of D.C., characterizing the situation as a crime emergency.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back.
But according to D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, homicide statistics in the district went down 32% in 2024. Violent crime was down 35%, a 30-year low. So far in 2025, the numbers have dropped even further. A downward violent crime trend that's also happening nationwide. This as the president deployed the National Guard in Los Angeles earlier this summer during an immigration crackdown. President Trump now threatening to expand the deployment to other metro areas, seemingly targeting cities and states run by Democrats.
You would think that Illinois would have such a problem with crime, such a bad governor. He should be calling me.
Some governors pushing back.
This is not about fighting crime. This is about Donald Trump searching for any justification to deploy the military in a blue city, in a blue state, to try and intimidate his political rivals.
The more than 2,200 National Guardsmen currently in Washington were offered up to support the D.C. troops by the governors of West Virginia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Ohio. Initially unarmed, this week, they began carrying firearms. We made our way around the D.C. area in a single day to see where soldiers are posted and how their presence is changing the city. Now, the first thing we notice is that troops are not overwhelming the city in every neighborhood and on every street corner. They've instead focused on a few highly visible and prominent locations. Now, troops are mostly absent from neighborhoods with the highest rates of crime in Southeast and Northeast D.C. Notably, no guardsmen were nearby when D.C. police say a homicide occurred in the southeast part of the city early Monday morning. But officials note that Monday evening, several soldiers assisted a citizen who had fallen and needed medical care.
Honestly, yes, there is a lot of crime, but I don't think that it was the National Guards was needed.
Completely unnecessary and honestly threatening to the communities, especially underprivileged communities.
But we also spotted troops at the Metro Center and Gallery Place metro stations, looking on as riders exited busy trains. Soldiers have been regularly posted at least 10 metro stations, including D.C.'s Union Station.
We're here at Union Station about 2 weeks ago when the National Guard troops first arrived in Washington, and there was a much bigger footprint. There were about 4 or 5 Humvees that were spread out throughout this traffic circle. There was probably a dozen, 2 dozen troops walking the area. Now it's a much smaller footprint. You see about 4 or 5 troops there, a couple more there, and that's about it.
Now, the White House says these troops are here to support D.C. police. They also say their mission is to clean up the city. Guardsmen conducting what officials describe as beautification projects around Washington's tidal basin, the Watergate, and wharf areas. Everything from replanting grass to trash, debris, and graffiti removal.
And Mola Lenghi joins us now. Mola, we just saw the National Guard there performing essentially beautification tasks. How much is all of this going to cost taxpayers, and how much longer can we expect to see the National Guard in the district?
Well, Juju, right now there is no price tag on it, but the cost of this operation is ultimately expected to be in the millions of dollars. As you know, troops have been here in Washington for about 2 weeks, but as you asked, the looming question here for this city and these soldiers is how much longer? The president at one point suggesting they could be here for another 6 months. He has also expressed a willingness to send troops to other American cities, really setting up the stage and the potential for a drawn-out legal battle.
And these guardsmen have been putting their lives on hold. Mola, thank you so much for spending a day in their lives. Appreciate it.